Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D-Real coming at you with another Be Real with D-Real, where Edutainment explains it. As you can see up in the corner, we are going to be doing another Space Ghost review, issue number 3, Caught Up in the Web of the Widow. Not the Black Widow. If you're a Space Ghost fan, you know what widow I'm talking about. We're going to get into it. You're going to get the whole story. Now, before we get off into it, let's do what we need to do so we can do what we want to do. Comment, like, subscribe, and share, which y'all have been doing the past week. Thank you, thank you. That's why I'm up over 600 now. If you're digging what a brother's shoveling, put some dirt in my bucket. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Why? Because edutainment is what I do. And we are going to do a little bit of what I do by kicking off this here story of Space Ghost, issue 3. Jonathan Pepose, writer. I'm sorry. I messed that all up. David Pepose, writer, and Jonathan Lau, artist. Sorry about that, guys. Didn't mean to get your names mixed up. Now, when we kick off into this story, Jan, Jace, and Space Ghost have been going at it for weeks, trying to expose Robo Corp. Robo Corp is the overreaching bad guy, it appears in this storyline. And as always, when you got an overreaching bad guy, they're initially untouchable. So Space Ghost, Jan, and Jace have been doing a lot of running around, trying to get clues and stuff for the past few weeks. Haven't been coming up with too much. And right now, they are in a battle with the Lizard Men. Yes, the Lizard Men are henchmen who did actually appear in the 1966 Space Ghost series. So, shouts out to David Pepose for reaching into Space Ghost Rogues Gallery and pulling out viable characters, whether they're minor or major, as we saw a couple issues with Tancet, with Bragg. And now you're getting this right here, the Lizard Man. How many more characters, villains, heroes, or otherwise will get a cameo in this series? Thank you, David Pepose, for paying attention to something other than Space Ghost Coast to Coast. And there is Space Ghost flexing. Space Ghost is a little more grouchier, a little more grim and brooding, as I've pointed out in previous videos. But I like. Nobody likes a 100% hee ha ha, the all's well that ends well type of Space Ghost. But here are Jan and Jace, who seem to be falling very well into their roles of sidekicks, and they are trying to play one-upsmanship with one another, where it's like, okay, you're going to be cleaning Blip's cage if I can shoot it, which she does. So Jan's a good shot. As we remember, Jan's the one that handles business. Jace is the brainy one. So bear that in mind. Oops, bottom panel there. Jan gets shot in the shoulder for grandstanding. Hits the ground. Lizard Man's about to get her, but suddenly something grabs a hold of that Lizard Man and all the Lizard Men, and Space Ghost recognizes it as a Venusian spider plant, and only one person in the galaxy rocks Venusian spider plants. Cue creepy villain music, The Widow. And those spider plants are eating those Lizard Men, as you can see. Space Ghost don't like her, don't trust her. Her husband worked for the Black Tarantula Syndicate and met an untimely death, as we see in that second panel. And what does she say? Never send a man to do a woman's job. And if we look real close at what she's saying, You'd know all about living in the past, wouldn't you? I'm surprised you had time to pick up children given your hunt for the Iron General. Isn't that right, Dax? So she knows Space Ghost's real name. It's not Thaddeus Bach. Interesting. And they bicker and argue until she tells him, I can get you into Robo Corp's central mainframe with these 2 cards, but we got to slide on off in there as allies. Space Ghost, as he should be, is kind of suspicious of the widow. And I would think there's something up if he wasn't suspicious of the widow. But then they weigh their options. We've been running around for weeks and we haven't gotten any closer to finding out who killed my parents and who killed your family. And so the enemy of my enemy is my friend, maybe. And so they agree to go and team up with the widow. And she says Robo Corp isn't going to know what hit them. And after a little bit of infiltration, knocking out a few guards here and there, they get inside the facility. Now, bear in mind, that little touch on the back of Jace's jetpack, that there will figure heavily into this situation in the future, or the future of this book. So Widow dips off. But before we talk about what Widow dipped off and did, here we see Widow 3 days ago meeting with the president of Robo Corp, Dr. Xander Ebal. And he looks like an evil Asian villain. Stereotype. She agrees for 9 million credits, 9 billion credits, 5 million credits. I'm sorry. There we go. 5 million credits. She agrees to do Dr. Ebal's dirty work for him. Flash forward. Here we are, dipping where we need to dip into. Blip, Jan, and the widow. Working the keyboard, doing what they do. Meanwhile, Space Ghost has got to go the hard way to the central mainframe and use his powers to get in. Again, Jace is a tech guy, making it happen. Meanwhile, Jan, being the observant little cuss she is, you keep looking at that bracelet. Is that what controls your plans? And like a good monologuing villain, the widow tells her, yep, this is exactly how I do it. Then on top of that, lures Jan, or tries to lure Jan, with the promise of becoming greater than what she is by coming over to the dark side and leaving Space Ghost. We all know Jan ain't gonna do that. And so the widow goes, all right. Booby trap sprung. Yay! See what's springing out of Jace's jetpack? Yeah. Bad guys are gonna bad guy. So it's a double cross. Pretty much what we suspected, right? Right. And those Venusian spider plants have Jan and Blip wrapped up, and Space Ghost is fighting for him and Jace's lives. And because she didn't agree, she's gonna die. No. Jan is a very, very, very resourceful little girl. And she grabs that trophy off of the table that was on there earlier, cuts herself loose a little bit, and the widow smacks the crap out of her. Hey, tell me you guys noticed this. The widow's chloral charm is on her right wrist. Yes. Yes, it is. Now, as they fight, and the widow decides to smack Jan with her right hand. Look, there's nothing on her wrist. Is that a artist's error? No, she's got the chloro bracelet. And for some strange reason knows how to use it. But we're not going to question all of that, okay? Boom. The widow is hoisted on her own petard. Space Ghost and Jace are freed. And Jace feels bad because he fell for the widow's bait. But Space Ghost, in a moment of clarity, instead of being brooding, drops a jewel on him and says, yes, this entire mission was a dangerous, short-sighted risk, but sometimes you need to take a risk to find out what really matters and to discover what you're capable of. Looks like that team is solidifying. Galactic Patrol picks up the widow. They leave a friendly Spider-Man, neighborhood Spider-Man style note and let them know Robo Corp's next. And speaking of next issue is, sucky now, The Cult of Zorak. Now, I know y'all already got Brack, and most of you folks that watch Space Ghost Coast to Coast, y'all waiting to see a dastardly version of Zorak and Moltar. Well, we know Zorak is coming next issue, and I'm pretty sure we will see Moltar soon. But that is issue number 3 of Space Ghost by David Pepose and Jonathan Lau. Y'all should pick it up. Y'all should check it out. I didn't give you the whole version. There's still stuff in between the pages that I didn't show you that might help you kind of piece it together or view it the way you want to view it. But I ain't gonna give you a hard time about that. Just rock with the comic, okay? It is a good read. Look here, y'all. That's it for now on this beautiful, well, it's not beautiful, it's raining, on this Saturday afternoon. That's it for now, but fret not, y'all. I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones, and until I do, y'all be good. Be good to each other.